Okay, we're in the Trevor Prangley versus Chael Sonnen fight, and I'm going to show you one of the most beautiful double legs that you'll ever see in your entire life. Chael doesn't believe in single legs in MMA. He says they don't work, but his double legs really do work. So this is very early on in the fight. We're going to see Chael draw out a jab and a cross. Sort of fake with a jab. Trevor throws a cross. So as the cross is being thrown, we're going to see Chael change level, cover his head, very sensible. And we're going to see him step slightly forward with his lead leg. He doesn't need to step too deep into the control zone because Trevor throwing this with a Hail Mary blow means that he kind of throws himself into the takedown. So we see a lovely straight tail leg. We're going to see the step in from Chael Sonnen and the knee go down to the ground in a rock over step, which you don't really see in MMA very often. I mean, these low shot, that's a low shot, okay? We're also seeing an absolutely beautiful take on the hips. He's hit initially with the shoulder on this side, and he's managed to get a hold around the hip. But Trevor has managed to get an underhook, so you can see the underhook going there. We can see the blow from this shoulder, yeah? He keeps the shoulders straight so that he can power forward into the hip. So he uses the shoulder as like a shoulder strike, and his head goes onto the hip. And what we're going to see is this shoulder strike turn Prangley slightly and lift him. So Prangley now is like almost straight up. Prangley didn't really have time to get... Prangley's a very, very good wrestler, but he didn't really have time to get in a sprawl of any kind there. But he's managed to get this underhook here, okay? And now we're seeing the lead leg come in. This is down, toe, the ball of the foot is down, the knee is down. All of Chael's weight is over here, and now he's steering with the head. What he wants to do is he wants to step this leg up on the outside, and he wants to drive towards buffer in the cage. So he wants to drive with his ear, he wants to cut this opposite knee, and he wants to lift this leg here. Problem is, Prangley's got an underhook, and what he's going to do with the underhook is he's going to drive that underhook into the sky. But you can see that Chael steps up that left leg. Okay, so he's trying to turn the corner, he's trying to drive it in this direction. Prangley, super strong, his centre of gravity is over the top of himself, and he manages to drive this underhook up, lifting Chael up his body. And now because of where the arm is, he can't go to a Basagar, so he's going to go to a knee cut, a knee tap. But because of the position of Prangley, he really has to collapse this leg as he turns. So we're going to see him rotate with Prangley, and we're going to see him collapse this leg. His forearm and elbow are dragging on the back of the knee, and he's making Prangley pivot over here as he drags this knee into his body. He's trying to get some weight on this underhook, and he's also got his weight and centre of gravity over himself. It's an absolutely beautiful technique that he's doing here. So he manages to get that cut onto that knee. You see that he can't drive anymore. His head is below his hips. He has no drive off his legs. If he had drive, he would be able to drive Prangley over here, or even if he wanted to take himself to the ground. You know, if he took it into a takedown instead of a throw, he would be able to just drop onto Prangley, onto his thing. Prangley manages to, just through sheer athleticism, base out on the ground and keep his weight over the thing. He's got his knee and toe down now. His underhook's in a prominent place, and what he's going to do is he's going to regather his centre of balance underneath him. Now again, if Chael would have thrown himself down on the ground, he probably would have got this takedown, but he hasn't got any forward drive or forward momentum in the position that he's at. So we're going to see Prangley take that underhook over towards his head, which is going to unload Chael Sonnen's body weight from his shoulder, and then he's going to be able to drag himself out and bring himself back up to his feet. So we've got Prangley here. He's desperately trying to back out of this. We're going to see him rubber arm in a minute, try to get this arm nice and long and loose and try and drag it out of here. Chael does not want to let go of this clinch position, so he's going to use this overhook effectively. He's now bringing his head into space, and he's also got his hips 90 degrees to Prangley, and he's still maintaining the bend in the hips, alright, because he's got this overhook. So we can see that he's 90 degrees here, we can see that his weight is evenly balanced out, we see that Prangley is trying to back out from this position. I can't see what he's doing with the other hand. I should imagine what he's trying to do is he's trying to either bicep control to push away or something like that. And we'll see Prangley try to rubber arm the arm out. So he's trying to pull that arm directly out and he can't really do it. Chael is going to keep a tight grip of the overhook and start to lift it and start to drive into it. So Chael is taking all of Prangley's body weight over the opposite leg, and what he's looking for is he's looking for this foot to get into the control zone where he's going to do an inside reap. So we're going to see the foot go into the control zone, boom, he's established that, and he punches through his underhook as he does that. Prangley now is being lifted so that his weight is being loaded over his hips, over Chael's hips. We can see that there's established power line here. So Prangley really is kind of doing everything okay-ish. His weight's just a bit too far forward. Chael is risking a lot from here, because if Prangley decided to drive on this, you know, maybe we could get a turning takedown from Chael and stuff, but luckily Prangley's just trying to back out. So we're going to see Chael now take a step with his rear leg, and he's going to establish that inner reap. Now, the thing with the inner reap is he's not trying to sweep that leg from underneath Prangley. All he's trying to do is he's just trying to establish that so that it can't move. All of Prangley's weight's on this, so this is not like a sweep in any sense of the word. This is just him establishing a solid base for that foot to be on. It's beautifully done. At the same time, what he's going to do is he's going to force this underhook up, which is quite difficult because Prangley's got all his body weight over this underhook now, okay? But because of the sideways bearing of Chael's hips, Chael's going to be able to turn and lift that underhook, and he's going to throw his weight down onto this underhook. So we're going to see Chael reap that leg. Now, he's lifted the weight through this underhook off Prangley's right leg, so that all Chael's weight and all Prangley's weight is down and based through this leg. This leg cannot move because of this placement of this reap. At the moment, everything's working through the underhook, but what we're going to see is we're going to see Chael start to look down in this direction and start to drag this elbow down and through this direction. At the same time, he'll be pushing Prangley's weight over here, and because he's pushing the weight over here, Prangley cannot get this foot out to establish a post. So we're going to see lifting that underhook, and now he's going to start driving this elbow down while he's captured this leg. So look, he's looking at the ground, he's dragging his elbow down while lifting the underhook, like in a steering wheel motion, and he takes Prangley to the ground. Absolutely beautiful piece of technique by Chael. If you want to see, I reckon he has some of the best double legs in MMA. If you want to add double legs to your game, watch a bit of Chael. Yeah, and that's it. Thank you very much for listening.